It could also be that alien. Are we live, by the way? we always crash in.
Do you believe in aliens?
No.
Oh, sorry.
You're allowed to. No, you can say no.
Free speech. But why not? Infinite space. Remember, just us.
You believe in God?
See, that's the one thing.
That's another.
It's nothing to do with that because it just doesn't matter. It doesn't make sense to me.
Are you sure it's not that?
Unless that somebody like out there prove it that you've seen it and then you actually.
So do you know anything? Have you kept up? Well, we wouldn't have kept up to date, but
Kate Blanchett believe in an alien.
Yeah, I was going to go to something a bit more science-based than
two-time Oscar winner.
Exactly.
But recently, there have been flight pilots in America that have caught stuff on their cameras but you just don't hear about it.
Yeah, it's always grainy though. That's the problem. Even
that's why they make it a fiction on what does it look like though?
What? They're all different.
The alien.
Oh, nobody's seen the alien.
Yeah, that's my other problem. I'm like, they have the spaceship. If they have it in Area 51, like, where's the pilot?
Does it look like an E.T.?
No, but then
I would hope so. I think
you had the what's it called?
You don't want it to look like the alien from the Alien film.
Yeah, but that's the thing. It's the blurring of the lines with movies. You've got to go stop thinking of movies. Let's just look at what's out there in terms of evidence. Like the guy recently Bob Lazar, that was working on them in the 80s, and now everything's come out. And you're going, well, I said that to you then, that's what it looked like. And they're going, oh, hang on. Yeah. This guy didn't care, but now he's being dragged back up, and he doesn't want nothing to do with it. He said, I told you lot, and now you're saying to me, oh, come and talk about it. I said, I told you then.
I love how we got on
page. Do you believe in ghosts there?
Ghosts?
Yeah.
Well, funny enough, I was just talking I was here the other day, 2 o'clock in the morning.
I've seen it.
You've seen a ghost?
Yeah. So you believe in ghosts, but I thought you'd be on my side.
Because I've seen it because it is real.
See, I wondered, being open-minded.
Yeah. You know why I believe it? Because I've seen it.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Yeah.
But then you can't. Fine. But I believe in gorillas.
Hold on. I believe in God, but I haven't seen it. But in my mind,
you're fighting against yourself.
When you pray and whatnot.
So when did you see a ghost?
Well, it wasn't really a ghost because it's my mother. You know what I mean? Because
after she passed away.
She passed away.
Oh,
she passed away in that bedroom.
Yeah.
So I slept on that bedroom. So I literally just woke up. I know I woke like I staying up. So I was like, and then basically she just remember I told you that, and then just basically just a smile with the hijab. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So like you saw her spirit rather than any
perhaps.
Old, yeah. Rather than
it's not really ghost. Is it ghost? What do you
You go, well, what was that camcorder? It's got about 5 pixels on it. Yeah,
that's the problem.
Every house
of aliens do exist. They're totally technology. See, you're laughing, but
no,
it's science we're talking about.
Just trying to get us away from aliens.
No, but I was talking about ghosts.
Okay.
What I'm saying is, if they are so advanced, considering how advanced we've gone in like 100 years, and then you think the universe has been around for 13 billion.
Yeah.
I wondered if there's something the aliens and ghosts, it's something. It's the same
they could be the same thing.
It's something that's being used as another.
I was gonna say, like, do you watch fiction movie though?
I don't really watch a lot of.
See, for me, like anything is if it's not real.
Yeah.
So you're more into documentaries
true story.
I can't listen to books unless it's like it's a story. Like, why am I listening to this?
I would never ever understand Harry Potter.
Yeah.
There's ghosts in Harry Potter.
I have a theory, right? So you know all this Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter and all that?
Oh, God.
No,
it's based on reality.
Yeah.
Because I've always said, right, if you stand back from the planet and look what's happening, you can see a lot. If you're in it, you can't see anything. And all this going on a quest and journeys and friendships.
Well, it's the universal story, isn't it?
Yeah,
So-
but I think because now we're so lonely and all this pretend friends on Facebook and all that, we're actually the most lonely we've ever been. We're the most separated we've ever been. It's a fake, you're all connected. No. You're further apart than you ever. And I think we're longing for that friendship and quest and doing
the
stuff.
fellowship.
Yeah, but I think that's what it is. I think people love those things because they want to feel part of something.
Yeah,
I think
and you go along. Well, particularly with Harry Potter, it's all about what house are you in, and all this kind of stuff.
But I mean, we was talking about before where there's nobody buffers up against any problems anymore. There's nothing to overcome. Like when you're never 13, you have to struggle to do something. There's no hardship. So
yeah, I mean, people aren't going up coal mine. Going to the
I
coal
don't mean
mine.
that, but I
13,
mean, I think it's more of a tribal thing. You need to achieve something. You need to push up against something, and because all the barriers have been removed, we're all sort of longing to go and find something, achieve something, push up against
as
something.
an adult. But have you seen that movie?
What's that?
That Harry Potter or Lord of the Rings?
I watched the Lord of the Rings films. I watched the Harry Potter films.
I
Some of
asleep.
them. That's quite common with the Lord of the Rings.
Well, it was like a
Shall
24-hour
we
film.
introduce our guest?
Thank God I didn't pay for it.
Yeah, exactly. We've been talking for about an hour now, which is like, no, we haven't really. No, this is an ongoing joke because his watch is actually broken.
I thought you were going to say it was stolen.
Yeah, well, look at the panic in his eyes.
It's not stolen. It's just.
We've got Sarah Wenno here. Am I saying Wenno right? Is
Correct,
that?
well done,
Oh, look
yeah.
at
Always
that.
Wenno.
Because we
Wenno,
weren't
yeah.
Double N.
Double N.
Correct.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Double
Wait,
N.
you've from Indonesia.
Correct.
Was Indonesia where they had the tsunami?
Yes.
One of the places, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, all
in,
of South.
No, the
Southeast Asia, yeah.
2005, something like that.
4.
Four. Oh, it was in Indonesia.
Oh no, hold on. 2004.
Thailand.
Christmas.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
Christmas Day.
Yeah, Boxing Day, yeah.
No, Boxing
Merry
Day.
Christmas from God.
Yeah,
That was the
Boxing
thing,
Day,
yeah.
That was 2004. At someone's house.
Indonesia.
You were at someone's house in
Well, at
Indonesia.
my ex-boyfriend's
It was
parents.
Indonesia, was it?
Blimey.
It was
it wasn't
Indonesia.
Thailand.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah. Well, Thailand as well, I think.
Oh,
Thailand,
right, yeah,
I've
yeah.
met
Parts of-
Indonesia a lot. Yeah.
I think that was where it was closest, wasn't it?
The called Aceh, I think.
It's a little fact. I like to throw a fact in when I can.
Yes.
You know Star Trek? Did you ever watch Star Trek, the original ones?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we've got to know that you do.
But you know the Asian guy, and it's Sulu.
Sulu, yes.
Well, who?
Don't tell me that look like me.
No.
dare
Who
you.
wrote Rodden?
Gene Roddenberry.
Right.
yeah.
So, and he was very much about this is what I want civilization to be in the
Multicultural,
end.
everything else, yeah.
The name Sulu came up for it was an ocean that
Yeah.
touches most countries. It's the
I think they always said that Sulu was meant because there was comments that when they rebooted the films, when they remade them, they had an actor who was I think half Caucasian, half Korean, and there was a backlash. But Sulu said no. The original actor George Takei, who was Japanese, said no. He was always meant to be representative of.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
Hey, it wasn't meant to be. It
The
was the idea that
Sulu
you're not
was
from.
it was a river or sea that touched a lot of countries,
Yeah.
and that's why they use his name to sort of be
That's
for
quite nice.
everybody.
Yeah. Random
Sorry,
fact.
it just flashback that the ghost thing. Yeah, I've seen it.
You've seen the ghosts.
No, it's not my mother though.
You've seen another ghost.
No, I remember I was 15. So it's speaking of Indonesia, there's this island called Pelabuhan Ratu. So basically, we did a study tour, and then if you have a period, thank God I never had that problem. But anyway,
You got all the benefits and none of the
right?
downside.
So basically, anybody against the rule, if you have a period, but as a kid, you don't hear all this, prohibit. So anyone who has got period, you can't get in to this island because the
Komodo dragons.
Well, it is, but I've seen it. What was it called? Niroro Kidul. So someone.
So you're not allowed to these islands if you're menstruating.
Yeah. So we basically visited the person who actually passed away, the graveyard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They built the marble, whatever, right? It's like a tourist object thingy. So you visit them and then you pray to them, like, oh no, whatever, and you ask the usual ritual. I want to, a good life and all that kind of stuff. So, but a lot of women, the girls. In any way, and then as soon, this is true story, I'm not kidding, seven. The first one, 7 girls screaming came out from there. Don't laugh. It's look. I've got true story. There you go.
That's the name of it. And
Yeah.
the background.
Look.
So she's a Naya Loro Kidul. I'm not sure I'm saying that. Is an Indonesia's goddess of the sea. Okay.
So I saw her came.
So you saw this. You saw this goddess.
And she passed out.
Yeah, I passed out.
Really?
Woke up again.
Yeah, and I passed out like just, and then they put everyone in the mosque. You know,
So
like,
a few people saw this thing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean that's gonna stick with you. I think if you saw an actual like goddess or what, because I suppose you wouldn't necessarily. Did you identify her immediately, the goddess?
So basically, that person. Well,
Yeah, don't bring anything in here.
Yeah, don't bring that.
Well, this is what we're
Sorry.
because I was here the other night, really late, like 1 in the morning.
Oh no!
And I've been here 1,000 times, and nothing.
tell us this, actually.
And then I was thinking,
Western country, I think it's more like, you know.
no, I think more here because this was probably, I don't want to say where we are, but these was the problem misery in central London. You know what I mean? Like these sort of, they weren't nice areas. There was been like 10 families living in here, and I was sitting here and the lights off, and for no reason I was going, oh, there's something weird in it. And then your brain goes, right, stop being like an idiot. I've got stuff to do. I'm photocopying things. And I'm going, oh, this ain't good.
You felt
and
someone was
ruined
watching you.
For an hour, it never left my mind until
Yeah.
I left.
I think it would.
And even when I was leaving this building, me, normal human being, I'm leaving the building going, I'm not looking in there. As I'm locking the door, I'm keeping my eyes away from the darkness down there. Never happened again. Never happened since. Before.
So why do you think ghosts always?
I think they get you in your emotional state. I think you
know
let
what?
it, you let
I
it
think
in.
you're right.
I think-
Probably.
I've got
I have to be happy all the time.
I've got one of the biggest
That's not a
ghost.
bad way to be. That's not a bad philosophy, I think.
Yeah, I've got one of the biggest ghost stories. That
See, hear that?
I don't tell people because it's like it was really big, like when I was a kid.
What
Yeah.
big?
And I hate it coming out of my mouth because it
Yeah,
sounds
that's
like
fine. Tell us,
I'm
tell
not. No, it's this. I'm not going to go into it. But yeah, I've sort of saved it up. Thought I've never really told anybody.
Are we gonna have a
that.
ghost?
Well, secret, but it's not really secret.
Yeah.
You have to tell us now.
You can give us the abridged version.
No, because then it
Sure.
sounds like bollocks.
Person.
You've got to know. I'm telling the
No,
truth.
I'm not. I don't disbelieve. I'm not going to say,
It's
oh, you're
scary,
bare
scary.
faced. Yeah, exactly.
No, not really. So I grew up in like basically a farmhouse. If
Yeah.
I showed you this house,
Yeah.
you go, is that a joke? It looks like it's designed to be a haunted house. It's surrounded by fields in
Yeah.
pitch black. I mean, leaving stuff. I just knew it was there. It didn't matter, and I knew it was in one part of the house. And it was the school was a care home for kids or something like that. Even had like an old desk. Once I climbed up a tree and I saw a kid had scraped.
That's going to be a lot of misery in that place.
But it was nothing. I didn't know to be scared.
When you climbed the tree, were you sober?
Oh yeah, I was like 7,
Okay.
something like that.
I had, because I slept walking and I climbed the true story
Jesus
again.
Christ.
My mother told me this at 10 years old and 19, no, never mind, 29 now. I climbed the tree. So if you, what was the word for it? There's a certain time that if you can't sleep, if you pray 5 times, right?
Yeah.
So 6 o'clock in the evening is Maghrib, is Arabic. So you don't sleep on that between 6 o'clock to 7, perhaps. But anyway, so I fell asleep and then I woke up. I sleep walking, like climb the trees. This happened.
So you
like
think
many-
because you slept at a time when you were forbidden?
Well,
it made-
bloody thing.
Do you know the guy got off in America? He killed his wife when he was asleep.
Yeah.
He got off.
I feel like
If do you know what? If she didn't stop me, I'll probably end up like.
Yeah.
And
Way
I
up
had
high in the tree,
for I think between 5 years old until about 10 years old, I was always dreaming. When I go to sleep, I always I was thinking like the ceiling hit me.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, it's gonna hit me, it's gonna be. And I always believe, like, I used to do this. this is
Trying to think
people
you could
think that I
fly.
have a mental well, I have, but you know, like I was in school, like, hey, I can fly, I
blimey.
can, yeah, true story.
I used to suffer from sleep paralysis when I was a kid. So where you wake up and you're scared, but you can't move. And I used to-
yeah,
And different civilizations have like a witch or a zombie in the room.
What is that?
I felt there was something right there,
Yeah.
and it was going to kill me. I could feel it breathing on me, and I was screaming so much
Ooh.
without
And you
making a
couldn't,
noise
yeah.
that the next morning my throat was hurting because I couldn't actually make the sound.
Because you were it's
But
straight.
I looked into it years after, but I think it's to do with stress because all the violence in the household. But it's the weirdest thing because it's not.
I think so.
It is there. It is there in the room, staring at you. A lot of people feel like a ghoul on your chest, looking at you.
Do you know what? I believe that. I think it depends on it because I have a big family. Like my dad got 20 children.
Blimey.
I know he
All with
was
the same-
busy.
all with the same
No,
lady?
4 wives.
4 wives.
But at the same time, my mother like the 4th one. My mom like got 7 children, but so it was busy at home. You know what I mean?
That's a big house.
So basically, like you said, the stress factor.
Yeah.
Perhaps that the kids tried to run away like many times because of the.
I suppose
not-
also you just in a house of 20,
Yeah,
you
that's
almost
a
feel like
weird
how
paradigm
do you
to-
feel that where's your place in all of
I
that?
wonder if you'd forget about one. You must forget about one of your kids. Where's Hamza? I haven't seen him. For
Well,
2
this
years.
is why. So my grandmother is Chinese, and she's one of 20 as well. And there's a kind of tradition where
If you have a lot
that
of-
you give them numbers. So I have an uncle 5, yeah. But I thought for a long time, I just thought coincidentally his name just happened to sound like the number 5. And they're like, no, he was born.
Oh right.
So that's not literally their name, but that's just almost like the nickname. It's very
Have
common.
you met him though, right?
I met Uncle 5, yeah. I met Uncle 5. And then his wife is called Auntie 5, but I'm like, but she's not the... anyway. But it's very... Because there's quite a tradition anyway of a nickname. So you would give your child a name, and then but they'd also be called second daughter or something as a kind of... Almost as a cutesy nickname. But also, when you've got 20 kids, you need that as a...
But how do you
Which one?
finance that?
He was very rich. The father was very rich. He was one of rich. But then my grandmother said he basically just gambled it all away. But by that point, they'd all grown up. Yeah, so she went from being, I think she said he was one of the richest men in Macau, but as a gambling hub.
But that is I can relate to that because I was nearly become a sultan.
Oh, really?
In
Really?
the family, yes.
Were you like a third cousin of?
True story. My mother from West Sumatra, so that the culture is like that. So if you have the generation have the title already, so my grandma, so basically she's a veteran, right? So she important person perhaps. So okay, who's gonna you pick the boy in your family to be a sultan? I ran away.
Oh really?
Yeah.
So you could have been.
So you could have been a sultan, but you ran away. That's fair enough.
No,
yeah.
not like that.
So, I'm assuming, is it more of a ceremonial title, or does it come
Yes.
with real power, or does it come with kind of real power, or not?
No, a ceremonial, and then everyone basically asks your permission.
Right,
You know what I
okay,
mean?
so it's-
And then you're
okay.
allowed to
It's a
have like
hierarchy
many
thing.
as wives as.
So you're allowed
you
to
want.
bypass the rules that apply to the
Correct,
rest of us.
yeah.
Fair enough.
And I'm like,
And
I want a many husband. No,
That's
sorry.
fair enough. But they picked on. So we'll be picked on rather than who was born first as
Yeah.
the normal. It would be picked.
Whoever that out there, you know what I mean? Like because apparently I'm more outspoken than anyone else in the family. So
Yeah, well, that makes sense. If you're going to have someone whose job it is to give permission to people, you don't want someone going,
yeah, exactly.
you need to have someone who can go,
Yeah.
even if
Give
it's
a
the
shit.
right or wrong
And
answer,
they
can just go, this is...
arrange lined up women for me to get. God.
So sort of engaged to, and but several, was it? And is that what made you run away, or just the
God.
pressure of that?
No,
or?
honestly, it was not.
How old were you?
I was 17.
Oh, you say
17.
Well, even then, 17.
16, 17, yeah. Because
Yeah.
at 15, I couldn't wait to get out from.
So you'd always wanted to get away anyway.
Oh my God, the bully and the.
How long
wasn't
have you been in UK or England?
To 2016, 19th of June on the
Just
8 o'clock
2016?
p.m.
Okay.
There you go.
Fair enough. Oh, you got the exact time and everything. So did you come here first, or did you go somewhere else?
No, before I came here, I was living in Scottsdale in Arizona.
Okay.
I was basically a runaway bride. 2 days before the wedding, I canceled.
Fair enough.
Yeah, it's
So are you a goodie or a
it's
baddie
all over the
then?
news, by the way. It's on
Is it?
ABC.
Okay.
Why did you cancel at the last minute?
A lot of drama, a lot of
A lot of things. Just-
yeah,
Okay.
no prenup and da 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 da, and
Prenup.
Oh, prenup. You'll agree. So you were asked to sign a prenup.
he
you'll
didn't
agree.
want to sign a prenup once when he already agreed everything, and then he changed his mind. And
He
then-
didn't want to sign.
Yeah.
Would you, if somebody wanted to marry you and they said you got to sign a prenup, would you do it?
Yeah, damn right.
No,
But it's different for
because you're going into it thinking it's going to fail.
Don't you think?
So I'm not doing it then. Why is there a flaw here?
That's exactly what he says. Like, oh, it's not love. Bullshit. Come on now.
Andrew?
I'm not gonna give my hard work to. It's happened already. The first one. I'll have to give him like 75,000 euros.
So you were
That's
married.
different.
So
That's
you were
different.
married before.
Before, yeah.
Yeah,
and you
that's
had to
fair
give-
enough. That's fair enough.
So I can understand that because it's almost like once bitten, twice shy kind
yeah.
of thing.
And you know, especially when he. Promised, oh, babe, I'm not gonna do that. Don't be silly and da da da. And then, why did you change?
Yeah.
Would you do it?
What would I sign a
Prenup,
prenup?
Both sort of same
Oh, come
financial.
on now.
Yeah.
Back
If
me
we were
up.
both the same, I'd sort of go, well, there's no point. If I met someone who's much more financial, I could understand why they were.
Yeah, I
wanting to
think if
sign
there's a
it.
disparity with wealth, then
Yeah, I think that's the only thing. But it just depends on the
For me,
circumstances.
I think like whatever that you already have before you actually enter the marriage.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Then
Yeah.
it's yours. That's what the solicitor wrote it down. But everything like in between, then
Then that could be
It makes
once you-
sense.
Yeah, then that could be divided. I can understand it because again, it's.
But would you give your wealth to someone like
I don't think about
you
money
work
that important.
that hard?
I don't think about money that
Yeah, but
important.
once you're divorced and say, particularly if it's
F
if it's
you this,
acrimonious,
F you that, and then
if it's acrimonious, like my parents divorced when they got divorced, it was all very civil. They just didn't love each other anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, I was
Yeah,
in my
but
early
wouldn't you be
20s,
more upset that the relationship had ended than who's getting the money?
I think they were both, but they just divided it up equally. They didn't even bother having a lawyer. I mean, you have to have a lawyer just to go over the page, just to say, you've got the form. Here you go. Can I have 300 quid for you to sign that piece of paper that I printed?
But sometimes you just like, as
know,
soon
be
as
a
you
lawyer, be a
divorce
lawyer.
the person,
if
relief.
it's happened to you once and it failed, then I completely. You'd almost be
Yeah.
stupid to not get a prenup after you'd be
I think that
stung.
after the first time. So
But I think you should still be naive.
but he's still harmless, so it's okay.
yeah, exactly. You went straight from Indonesia to Arizona, or
No, do we have time?
Yeah, we've got time. Yeah.
So basically, at 17, I left home, and then I won a competition as cover model as a boy, and then I save money, and then I moved to Australia, to Sydney. In
So you were doing
1990s.
modelling in Indonesia,
Yeah.
or
In
Okay.
Indonesia first, I did a lot of commercial and stuff. Anyway, so I went to Sydney, and then lived there. The whole family is there, so that's why it's no brainer. And then got there, lived there for like 6-7 years, and then I moved back to Indonesia. And then I met a guy, then we got married, and then we lived in Indonesia, in Jakarta, for like 3 months. Oh my God, he's gonna see this. And he said, babe, because we're staying with moms, all right? Indonesia. Have you been to Asia? You know this.
well, I've been to
you know,
China, but I've not been to.
But you
I've
couldn't
not
fit
been
in
to
with the
Indonesia.
culture, is that
But
what you're
we,
saying?
we all have servants and stuff. So, my mom's house, like a huge house and stuff. But then he was too comfortable, perhaps. You know what I mean? Like, it was,
Oh, okay, just throwing his weight around.
can
and
we
everything,
just, live here? And then he, drama. And then he was trying to sleep with my brother's wife.
Okay.
Drama,
Yeah.
basically. So I said, "No, you're not staying here, dude. Let's go." So, and then we moved
you were
to
living.
Dublin.
You were living as man and wife at that point.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And then we moved to Dublin, his country.
So you stayed with him even though he tried to.
Well, you. Bad
You're
for
much
worse,
more
right?
forgiving than I would be,
Well-
especially when it's your own family, within your own family. It's not better, but
Mental, innit? That
but
is
y-
proper mental.
I'm
sorry.
still
I mean,
doing it,
we're not
though.
trying to
So
make
then-
it painful, but
Yeah. Well, so
that's
what
way
did you
more.
push over the edge then? What made you finally end it?
Oh, the
Just one thing after
the cheating.
another? Oh, okay.
Yeah, I couldn't do it anymore. And
so he
I-
did actually cheat on you, not just try. He what? Sorry.
Oh, he's a well done. He's a personal trainer, and then he turned to be gay. You know
So
what
he
I mean?
cheated on you with his personal trainer, who was
No, he's a personal.
Oh, he's a personal trainer.
So
Sorry, I
he
beg your pardon.
trained this client who's whatever, like rich and whatnot. So travel him, go anywhere, and then he end up with him. But that's before that.
With a bloke?
With the bloke.
So he's
Yeah.
like, he's all over the place.
And so I was like, dude, make up your mind.
yeah.
This for JJ. No, I'm kidding.
So where did you go from Ireland? Did you move back to Indonesia then?
No,
The UK?
I don't have a family anymore in Indonesia, so
Oh.
I haven't been back. Well, I've been back like for holiday and stuff, but not like to live
So
for
after
the last
Dublin?
28 years.
Where did you go after Dublin?
After Dublin, and then I came to here, London,
Oh, okay.
and I was I didn't know, thinking, okay, because I did a lot of whatever, like entertainment and stuff. So I thought, okay, London is the
Yeah,
the city.
yeah.
And I came here and paid someone called Martin Marcus. I'll put it out there.
Yeah, that's fine. Put it out
He's
there.
in jail now. 4.5 years. Screw you. I was homeless for 6 hours. I arrived in this country. I pay him before that.
You paid him to do what? Sorry.
To get me an apartment.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Right.
Like upfront, and
Yeah.
so 6,800, right? So I arrived here with 3 suitcases, with heels on. I'm
3
thinking,
suitcases?
I know, right? Russell's arrived in this the address, knock on the door. Who are you?
Oh, my God.
Oh,
And
no.
I'm like thinking,
Son of a
oh my
bitch.
God, I'm
Yeah,
in
yeah,
London.
yeah.
This is great. This is where to be.
Yeah.
Like whatever. And then next minute, yeah. So I was 6 hours. This is 6:30 in the evening, not knowing not one person.
All excited, ready to
Yeah.
go.
And he just
And-
ran off with the money you'd paid as
Yeah.
a deposit, just
Oh,
fake.
God.
You do hear about this, these
Yeah,
people that come,
yeah.
people will come from abroad, wherever, and people are like, oh, yeah, I've got you, and they turn up and they go, who are you?
Well, I
they
said to
they
you-
don't own
Yeah.
the address,
When
they
I was
use
work-
file photos.
When I was working at a
everything,
certain type of company, I won't say it was, and I worked with a Romanian guy, one of the hardest working blokes, nice, really nice, sweet
True
guy.
story, yeah.
And he said to me, so it doesn't matter what we was doing, but anyway, we was working, and
That's how,
no, it wasn't illegal. I just don't
Okay.
want to throw people under the
No,
bus.
that's fine.
But he when I got talking to him, he said he was because I was talking about what have you done before you were here, and he said, oh, I used to work doing the bins, and he said before that, because we was talking about car washes, he said I used to do that. You know, when you see all the Romanian guys in the car wash, he said I used to do that, and I said, how much you get for that? £20 a day. He said 8 till 8, £20 a day, and he said, because what happens is, he says they get these people to go into the sort of like the hills of Poland and find big families and say, oh, Mercedes, like, oh, we'll come to London, photographs, give us this amount of money.
Right, yeah.
We're going to look after, I think he said you had to get £1,800 English,
Yeah.
which is a lot of money in Romania. He said, so what you do is, he said, they tell you all this stuff that you've never heard. London photographs, we're going to look up, we're going to give you a job. You don't have to do anything. You're going to come here, you're going to have a property. Here's a photograph. He said, so you spend about 4 months saving money, borrowing money from teacher. You save the money up, tell them I'm going to pay you back, you're going to get this. And then you come here and you're with 6 other people in a room and the job is washing cars. And he said,
He's got no choice.
he said, I was so embarrassed from all the money that I'd borrowed from everyone. He said that in the town that he'd borrowed money from everyone. And he said,
thinking that he's going to
they
get.
don't pay you enough to be able to get back.
No.
But you don't even want to go back because you're so embarrassed. But you haven't
So
got,
he's stuck
so you're
with it.
stuck by just being able to feed yourself.
Just to do that to another. I mean, like, just to do that to someone. Like, someone can't, you in good faith, you've paid the money,
Yeah.
you said, great, set me up with this apartment because I don't know anyone here,
Yeah.
so I need some
But
help,
they're just
blah, blah, blah.
vultures, just
Yeah,
vultures.
just, let's go. But he's in
Especially
jail now, so you
For
win.
me, like, I went to his office in Moorgate. As soon as I moved here, and he closed down his company,
So it's
and then he
calm as
opened
well.
again. So after that 6 hours, I basically whatever, bawling and crying and stuff. And there's this dude, when I open, well, who are you? And he kind enough to actually let me stay for free.
So the person who you thought who
he's got a few apartment and stuff like that for like bed sit and stuff. So I stay there for, and then 2 days later,
I mean, it's nice the contrast between someone stealing your money, basically, and saying, "Oh, I've got you this house," and then the person who actually owns the house going, "Oh, well, you can stay, but but
I
it
was
is my
literally
house."
knock on the door. Hi, I'm Sarah.
Where's my room?
Yeah, where's
oh
my
my
room?
God, this is so beautiful.
He's like, "Thanks very much."
Stop there.
And I'm like, who are you? And I'm like,
God.
oh, Sarah.
So this is 2016.
This was to 2012.
Oh, I thought obviously you moved here permanently in 2016.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
2012, I moved here. And then 2 days later, I went to Citizen Advice Bureau. From there to 2 years ago, just the process to get him, put him in jail.
Right.
Yeah.
So I was doing remotely. I was suing him, basically. I sued him. And I thought to myself, no, dude, you're not going to get away with this.
Yeah.
And then I met a guy called Jerry Springer. Was it Jerry Springer?
As in the actual Jerry.
No, he's a private detective.
Oh, he's a private detective called
Well,
Jerry
We were
Springer.
just talking about Jerry Springer before you walked in.
Slash hitman.
Oh,
So,
nice.
yeah, fair
Yeah.
enough.
So I met him. So I went for a date with him, right? And then after...
A date with the private detective.
Correct, yeah. And then after...
This is like out of a 1950s
Dude,
like novel
I'm
or something.
telling
This is
you.
cool.
I chase, so we find out. So he was like digging, and we find out that someone told us that he moved to what was the name of Liverpool Street?
Yeah.
That there's another office. So I went in, and then he's apparently he opened another company. Not under his name.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Right,
Like
yeah,
whatever
yeah.
it is,
Shell company or something, yeah.
So it's not even like non-existent person. Do you know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay.
So
Right.
anyway, cut long story short, I chased him to I can't
Hyde
pronounce
Park?
it. No, Hertfordshire.
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 Oh, where I was born.
Yeah.
Oh, Hertfordshire. And then I went to his office. With Jerry Springer.
Yeah.
When
I love that he's called Jerry Springer. This is so good.
His name is Jerry Springer. I'm not lying.
Oh, so good.
It's this black dude, like tall. Like, he was like, you have to get this MF, whatever, right? So, and then we went to his office, talked to the receptionist, and then she was like, "Oh, may I know the name?" And he was like, "Go." Just say, don't get involved.
Yeah.
And so Jerry, like, oh, Jerry, we have an appointment, lies. And he came out, oh, honey. He was, excuse my language, like he was fat as like Santa Claus, right? And then he just went.
Oh, because he
like,
would have recognized you.
Yeah, drop. And I was
good.
like this.
Yeah.
I bet he
Bring it,
never
bitch.
thought in his million. He
Oh my
probably
God.
thought
Just a
like
shock.
the tax man will get me. Police, something like that, but have one of his victims turn up.
And he was like, he's so pale. He's Jewish. Not that it matter. So he went, hello. And I'm like, hi, Martin. How are you? And he went, oh, good. Why don't we go to my office, shall we? And then so we sat down, and then Jerry just bang. And then so he promised that he's gonna, pay back and whatnot. Of course, he didn't. And then so Jerry was like, I don't know what to do now. Like, this is a civil matter. You can't really go. Police doesn't want to deal with it. And I was determined. So I went to the Liverpool police station. And so went there, and then, this is civil matter. And one person saw me because I was like bawling, crying. 6,800 is a lot.
That's a lot. I'm surprised that's not fraud. Surely that's fraud.
Well, at the end, because
I suppose you just put it all under
Exactly.
shell companies.
at
and go
the end,
bankrupt and-
yeah. Sorry, hon.
No, I was going to say, so basically what happened was she contacted the financial ombudsman,
Yeah.
won a civil case against him, and then they then prosecuted him in a criminal court afterwards once she'd won her case, and then he got banged up.
Okay, right, yeah. So there's kind of like the reverse OJ thing where they couldn't court, so they got him in the cell. So we should say that you're Stephen. Yeah.
So
because we've had you kind of helping us out along the way, but we haven't said hello, Stephen.
Jailed because of that.
So basically, the police just went. The other dude like in the front. Oh, can't help you, da, da, da. And then this dude, and I went outside. I'm like that, and then this dude like came out. And I'm like, oh, hey, listen, you know, like, can I help at all? Like, I know this is, you know, it's not mine. And I was like, and so I dated him, as you do. Why not?
You're like a like a 1950s.
Some people don't like to be single.
No, that's fine. But I like the you know, like he dated the PI guy and then he dated the detective.
Only dated but not sleeping. So
no, there's no judgment anyway. It doesn't matter. But I just like that. That's very.
I want to get to the good bit.
Yeah, we want to get to.
So he basically invited me. So I tell the story and whatnot, and then we create this thick story about him.
Yeah.
So we report that, and then went back to Citizen Advice Bureau, and they sent us a lawyer, but they can't represent us, or they only do like advice. So after that, and then they suggested to financial, I can't pronounce it, ombudsman. And so from there, and that's it. And then I did remotely. They call me, and then I moved to. My sister got cancer, and then I moved to Dallas. I sold my. I quit my job. I was working in the hotel at the time, and I just got accepted at Tiffany and Co. As a senior manager, whatever it is, good money and then I thought to myself, family is important. And then,
yeah.
So she was living in Dallas?
She was living in Dallas. And then I bought a condo in Dallas within 6 days, just like that, to be close with her because I was her legal guardian for the kids.
I see, okay, yeah.
And then I find out after I moved there, it wasn't cancer.
Come on.
I know.
I'm afraid to ask.
This is a sister.
My sister, closest sister. I don't speak to her anymore.
I think that's fair. So what? So she just told you that she had cancer, so knowing that you would come and look after her, essentially.
Yeah. Well, it was a mistake. Because he went back to 3 times, I think. Gallstone. Yeah.
As in the sickness,
gallstones, yeah.
So it wasn't cancer. So.
I don't think you can confuse gallstones with human, like cancer.
Say, can you come and help me?
Well, she didn't know. You know, she
wasn't lying.
She wasn't lying.
Oh, okay, fine.
The doctor actually told her the first one. This might be cancer and da 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 da. And then she went to another doctor, and then I already, because I was so quick planning everything, like within a week, move all my stuff, furniture, and that. Oh my God. Anyway, so went there. Everything's and then I was like, alhamdulillah, I just speak alhamdulillah. Thank God it's not cancer. Okay, so might as well. I'm here now, you know. I bought my condo already, so every day I look after the kids, you know, pick him up, make him breakfast, get up in the morning, and
how long were you there for?
On and off, 2.5 years.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then after that, and then I met Rick, this Arizona.
Okay, yeah.
Guy.
So this is how you met this guy, yeah. Okay.
And then after that, I was like, in love, engaged, and oh shit, I shouldn't say that.
No, you can say. Well, it's over now. It doesn't matter, you know. Like, he's got a long face.
This was the prenup, right?
Not that you're biased or anything.
Oh, okay. It was nothing bad been said. What?
No, not you. No. So you were going to get married to Rick.
Stop.
Nah, it's fine.
But that's the truth, though.
How long were you together for?
Not long.
Months, years?
No. 6 months.
But you fell in love quite quickly.
I thought to myself, oh, this is
the
my type of guys, typical, muscular and tattoos and whatnot, and then good and bad, big dick, and excuse my language.
Fair enough.
Sorry, but that's the truth. Sorry, hon.
So why did
because you and Stephen are boyfriend girlfriend, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
why
Okay,
did
fine.
this one end? Did you say why?
Because you said partner, and I was like, you work together or are you partners? But you are.
yeah, the work in
Romantic
business
in
together.
crime.
Yeah, partner in crime, all things.
No, what was
This was a few problems before this
a
one
few
ended.
problems,
Okay.
and it's just a drama, and all this stuff, and so he basically he threatened to. Oh God, I can't really say. Oh fuck it, kill himself if I leave him.
Bloody hell, you can't
With a
put down
handgun.
someone.
That's always a good thing in a relationship.
Yeah, I mean that's
You have to save me or I'll die.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but that's just
So, oh, hun, stop.
Oh, an actual gun got involved.
bloody hell.
It's
Yeah.
mental that you think that would work as a relationship strategy.
And when you don't know, here you go, water.
It's a bit emotional for you.
Okay, that's fine. Well, yeah. We can skip past that if it's too. So
Anyway, so finish that,
What-
and
Yeah.
so I pack all my stuff. I called a removal company. Oh no, I was like, oh yeah, okay, that I have to like acting, right?
Yeah,
and
of
then
course,
so finish everything, and then I call removal company, pack all my stuff. 9 people came in. And then one of the manager, where is the address, ma'am? London. Where about London? London.
UK.
yeah, just
It's United Kingdom, England. And then anyway, so
So this is the second time you've come to England now then?
yes,
Okay.
yeah. And then I thought, okay, that's it, because at least I know people here already,
Yeah,
because
from
I've
the
been living
first
here
time,
for a
yeah.
year. Then finished that, and I was at the next day. So I stay. I took off the engagement ring, which is cost a lot of money, and I returned it to the reception
done.
with
Yeah.
his name.
Okay.
So I went to the airport. I booked the hotel, and then I booked my ticket to Sydney to see my family, and then stay in the hotel. You can't really sleep, because
Yeah, of course.
oh
Yeah,
my god,
yeah.
because he's ex whatever it is, police. So I thought, okay, so went into the airport, and then as soon as I about to board the when and I look at from the distance, I'm like, no.
so the police were coming for you.
Yeah.
For
you?
what?
For me, wait for it. And then the police just went to the front desk. Miss Stevenson, please come to the front desk. I nearly pee on my pants. Literally, I'm like, huh? This is like hundreds of people, like what, like. And so I was like, sir, I'm Sarah, because I still use my marriage name, like
Yeah,
Sarah
yeah.
Stevenson. So I'm Sarah Stevenson. Can we talk over here? So I was in the middle, 4 policemen with guns. I had sandals on, my backpack and whatnot. And then he was telling me the story. Oh God, honey, don't.
I was gonna say,
It's on the news.
Look at the article.
Okay.
No,
Are we all right to?
Give us a snapshot of what this is.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
So we're looking at your mobile phone.
No.
Okay, so I'm just reading the sort of the vague. So
What year is
he
this?
pretended to be a police officer, basically,
Yeah, so anyway,
to stop you from going.
So he was like this police. I told him the truth. So the police like, Miss Stevenson.
So they're real.
Because he posed as a policeman saying that she was wanted, that you were a wanted.
I
woman.
had an explosive bomb.
Yeah, he went to the. Thank you very much.
But why is he
Stephen, thank
pretending to be a police officer?
you. Because that would stop her leaving the country. Because so he
Why
goes
not
to
just
the.
say, "Oh, I think somebody's got a bomb."
No, because I guess maybe he thought I'll be taken more seriously if I pretend to be a police
Oh,
officer.
right, okay.
Fucking hell, that is. Yeah, that is.
So they were warning you that this thing's happened. They weren't actually going to do anything to you. They were just telling you what's been going on.
Yeah, they said, "Oh, we don't have a warrant to arrest her," and whatever. And then they find out I was innocent. I was telling the truth, and then so basically, he told police that I have an explosive bomb and smuggling his engagement ring and prostitution.
It's sad that when
but why would
two
you?
people slept in
Yeah.
a bed in love, laughed and had fun,
Yeah.
and then it goes to that.
I mean, yeah, this is obviously not a well man. I think
well,
we'll
I-
we'll leave it.
Do you know
that.
what? You forgive, right? We none of us is perfect, so it's at the time you can't really beyond like you know what I mean? And when he threatened, like, I still got emails and stuff, kill my whole family in Dallas.
Yeah, that's a different level. Then that's not. Let's be thinking.
And then
balance of mind.
his sister calling me like, "You're a skank." I didn't even know what skank means. I thought it was
I've only recently learned.
Yeah, because you think like, oh, is it a type
American
of
term,
music
isn't it?
or it's very American.
It's a new
skank,
type
isn't
of
it?
London
yeah,
music.
you know, like someone's crossed scar and punk and something like that. It's
It's a good. Actually, could use that as a new. If there's
there
any
you go.
DJ, it's
Reclaim
skank music.
but you were,
skank.
Yeah.
But I mean, it seems like you're obviously well away from him. That's great. And then you came here, and then you've been here ever since.
Yeah, so I took an Airbnb in Knightsbridge for 3 weeks. I was in Sydney. I passed out. Right, arrived in Sydney at the airport. I passed out.
Well, just the emotional exhaustion of all of that.
I was
it's understandable. Yeah.
Literally, and my sister and my nephew like, auntie, and then my sister whispered, "Ambulance is expensive. Get up."
Yeah. And that cured you. they got the smelling salts, and that was you up and about.
And then that was it. And then he kept calling, and then whatever it is. And then so I moved, and then I settled in London. Finally, my furniture all came in.
Yeah.
Cost me $11,000. And then I didn't speak to him for like 9 months. His last email, he was in a mental state, like not well and jobless and stuff. So he went to jail, by the way.
Yeah, well, impersonating a police officer at the very least.
So he got bailed like $10,000. And then after that, I was like 2016 Christmas Eve, George Michael passed away, right?
Yeah.
And I you know what I mean? After all that you've done.
Yeah.
And so I thought, okay, you know what? I'm not perfect. I want to call him, because he's in bits now.
Yeah.
So I called him, and it was beautiful.
Oh, God.
Yeah, 3 hours on the phone, crying and whatever. And then, but everything's like, and then 3 weeks later, he got a job.
Oh, that was the end of that.
Yeah, and then he was like
No more
calling me
emotions.
like, "Babe, like you helped me through the." I'm like, "Oh, I'm glad." He's got a girlfriend now, so he's happy.
I mean, I guess there's almost a happy ending.
I'm
to
worried
that
about the
in a way.
girlfriend now.
Well, yeah, there is that.
She
but
starts
yeah,
the journey again.
Yeah, I don't know. That there's almost a happy. There's a reconciliation, I suppose. Is
but
there?
I've always like you have closure is the best thing, right? Because for me, anyway, I can't speak for anyone else, but when you have that closures and everything's just relief,
So what were you doing for work amongst all this time? You've already said you worked at
I
Tiffany.
made a property.
Oh,
no,
do you?
yeah.
Okay.
No, I don't work in Tiffany because I didn't take that job.
Oh, so-
I was the highest IQ test.
Yeah.
On the the job.
Yeah,
whatever
you had
it
to
is.
do that IQ test, didn't you?
Correct. 3 hours on the computer.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, to do that. But hey,
For Tiffany.
yeah,
What were you doing?
the sales associate manager.
I would have thought that would be a big...
Yeah.
Well, I guess because
you're
they're
dealing
higher.
with apparently because you're dealing,
high net worth
like,
individuals and all that kind of thing. So because
it's
you've
all
done
bullshit, but
Yeah.
Oh,
Go on.
well, it doesn't matter. So you've done modelling.
I've done modelling, yeah.
Yeah, as a young man, and
As
then
a
also,
young boy.
as a young boy, but also as a woman.
yes.
I saw you on a catwalk with cans on a.
Oh my god!
I did. Yeah, I did.
Cool, right?
Because we don't try to look too much into people because
Yeah.
otherwise we end up telling you your life story and we want to hear your life
Right,
story.
right.
We
What
want
was the
you to tell
can?
it.
Was that
So
recycling?
I thought when I saw you on your magazine, good magazine by the way, I look at last night.
It's the right answer. Well done.
No, it's true though.
Coming soon.
I tell the truth. I thought I knew you, and I was like, oh my god, Theo. Actually, isn't he in London Fashion Week on?
Oh, that's all right. I'm going
Have
with
you
this
gone to
story.
London? Yeah.
No, they wouldn't let me in.
But he was like, oh no, it wasn't him. Like I'm like, maybe.
I might have been doing security outside.
Might have been
No,
stealing
because
hubcaps.
there was
Might have been Vin Diesel or The Rock.
Yeah.
no, because there was Alex Reed and then Sunita.
Well, I mean, you at fashion shows you get celebrities.
Oh, I thought it was their show.
No,
Oh, I don't know.
it's,
Was it?
It's Leah with the can creator thing.
Yeah.
Oh.
So anyway, so behind that can's dress, nobody actually fit on that thingy.
Apart from you, was it?
I walked in, and then I remember this is in London, Piccadilly. So you walked in, everyone like backstage get hunt. Not, I was late, the usual, and then all the whisper and stuff. I'm like, oh, here we go again. And then I thought, okay, and all the designer, oh, can you wear mine? Can you wear mine? And I was like, no.
I'll go with the one with the cans.
Yeah.
And then I thought I want it not I want it unusual, so I chose that one. Oh, can I wear this? And then, oh, nobody, because she's not allowing anyone to wear it. So
Well, why take a dress to a
Yeah.
fashion show?
But
No one's-
I think because of that's one of a kind, perhaps.
Oh, I see. Okay, fine.
And then not many people can. This is according to her that can actually carry it. After me, nobody else wearing it. By the way.
Yeah, that's
And-
quite cool.
Yeah, I know, right? And then she called me as anyone want to book me, and then she was like, through me first. Yeah. So.
What was the whole show about? Was there a theme? Or not?
Yeah, it's an alternative. So
Oh, okay,
anybody who disabled and
right.
not able to express yourself, and then you actually do this to basically,
Do you do any of that now still, modelling?
I don't do that anymore.
Just property? You just do property
I
now?
do property. I do. God, I just did only background artist, but I did a. Am I allowed to say this?
I don't know.
Fan. No, oops, sorry.
She's just passing by her lawyer.
Passing by, Stephen. to see if
No,
he-
you know what? Because I when you do, you sign the disclosure.
Oh, a
right.
non-disclosure
And
agreement.
it's-
Well, it depends on the time. But-
Anyway, it's Batman.
Batman. There you go.
Wait for it.
What were you doing?
Just a background artist.
Okay,
It's a
an
background.
extra.
Oh, in the new one that they're filming now.
Correct, yeah.
Another
With,
one.
I think that's yeah. There's.
with Warner Brothers production. So yeah,
I don't think that's anything. You can say
That's
you
it,
couldn't
right?
Yeah, I
say.
suppose.
You,
That's it.
I
you
suppose
couldn't
just
say
mention it.
Yeah, you can mention that you were in it. It's just you can't be
But
like,
even
oh,
that
and
you
then the
probably-
bad guy's this guy and this
Okay.
happens and blah blah blah. I'm sure that's fine.
As long as I tell the story or anything, he said.
Yeah,
No,
I think
that's
that's
fine.
fine. Yeah,
It's
we know
all-
that there's a Batman film being made.
Exactly,
It's not
right.
a
Didn't know
secret,
that.
is it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Who's
but you
the
live
baddie
a
in this one?
I
Andrew.
don't know. They've got. I think they're doing a few different ones.
Did they kill? Did they kill Bane at the end of the year?
Yes, they did, but it's not the continuation. It's a new. They're starting
Okay.
it. You know how they reboot things. So you do so you did do modelling. You still do acting.
Oh,
Sarah knows.
But
knows.
don't- yeah,
But we
yeah.
won't say anything. I like the way you're gesturing. Shh, shh, we're on a camera.
Yeah, that's not legally binding.
But the I know. But and you also had a show
Yeah.
I tried to watch it. I couldn't see it because
it was a legal thing.
Because it was.
No, I had a show. We did a docu series about my life story. So we got basically Richard Liebman, the producer, found me on like you guys. Ken found me.
Richard Liebman, does that ring a bell to you?
He's a film producer. His family apparently won Emmys and stuff like that. Whatever. And so he offered. He's doing a feature film and then about transgender. So he said, "I want you, like I'm interested in you and da da da." And then I want you to look at the script. So I look at the script and then I was like,
What do you mean the script? It's not real life, documentary. A mockumentary.
Oh no! This is before we're making this docu series.
So he was making a fiction film about transgender.
Yeah.
Okay, fine.
So I said, "This is wrong. You don't address these people. If you want to be accepted." And anyway, so cut long story short, he said, "Why don't we set a meeting?" So I set a meeting with him in St. George. Anyway, in Vauxhall, and then he said, "It's not finished yet, but would you be interested?" I don't think so. Anyway, so he said, "What would you be interested in reality, TV?" And I'm like, "Not really. Living in a bunch of people, and no, thank you."
I like the way you it's nice the way you're turning down things. Like, do you want to be in a film? No. Do you want to be in this?
No, because
most people. Yeah, maybe.
I want to use my brain. Anyway, so he said, "Oh, tell me a little bit about yourself." There you go. That thing that
I couldn't remember. It's the crazy world of transgender Sarah Wenno. I couldn't remember the order of the word. I was like, I'd have to because it was like, is it the world
I wasn't agree with the transgender word to put in the beginning. It was the crazy world of Sarah Wenno, but then I guess he needs
the money's in the title.
Yeah.
He needs a keyword to put it anyway. So that one on Amazon Prime, season 1 to 3, 19 episode per season. But for some reason, I just checked as well a few days ago. You couldn't open it, so I don't have the you
don't have the rights to it. Yeah, it's odd because it's listed on there on Amazon Prime, the show, but it just says current. I think it either says
currently
not
unavailable. Yeah,
so that's
although
a thing.
we actually probably we have a lot of footage finished probably from like my fashion shows in Windsor, Newry, and all that.
How long was that filmed over? That's a lot of episodes.
A lot. Well, the per episode only like 7-9 minutes.
Oh, okay.
But
it's still a lot.
So they follow my life, my moving, my.
Oh, they went back to things you'd been.
Yeah.
Through. Okay.
And then follow on the. It's went to the psychiatrist and whatnot and all that kind of stuff. So.
Yeah. So do you have you come out of something? Like are you in a good place now? I know you're going to say yes anyway, but
no,
I mean,
I'll tell the truth. Am I in a good place? Not really.
No. What were mentally or just
mentally
stability
and if I compare my life, 5 years. No, hold on. 7 to 10 years ago, probably would definitely now, because back then I was always still worried about what people think.
Yeah.
And I'm still like, who the heck that I am?
Yeah. As being transgender.
Yeah.
But you don't
just like I'm scared like when people find out, and then when the agency find out, and like, oh, this is not right. And then I have one time that I got offered to do a campaign for a shampoo. I'm not gonna say the name.
No.
The company, the name of the shampoo. But there's a script like you have to run around on the beach, right? Like doing
the classic waving.
And I was back then. I was like, just starting. You know what I mean? So I was still not confident. In my own skin.
Yeah.
That was 2021 and 2001.
20. Okay.
Yeah. Hold on. 2001.
2001,
Yeah. 21. Yeah.
God, I'm not mixing American and...
No, we got it because a couple of. I was like, oh, okay, it's the American way of doing the date. But no, that's fine.
Yeah.
So you just weren't. You didn't feel relaxed enough. Is in your idea.
Yeah,
That's understandable.
And it just I experienced all this. Oh, you black bitch, go back to your country.
Really?
Yeah, true story.
I mean, but then
This is
we
in
talked
Ireland.
about this before. We're like, well, yeah, you go, that's really stupid. Oh, but they're racist, so of course they're stupid.
And then even
yeah.
I used to work in a bar, right? And then because this is in Dublin, and then you're making stuff, and excuse me. And then I turn around and can I have?
Oh no!
And I turn around and I was like, Harry, yeah, reboot. Like I literally just go with the worst north side accent ever. Harry, star reboot. Like star reboot.
But they're just automatically assuming that you can't speak English,
Correct,
and so they've got to
And then they're just like, oh, fuck's sake, look here, state of you. And I'm like, well, state of you, dude. Yeah.
So why don't you feel that you're in a good place now?
It's just at the moment I'm like in between court case, my property, the Elliot Lawless, another one there. You can Google it, and he's all over the media.
you just have some bad luck with like people
I know,
that you,
especially bloody freaking.
Everyone
man.
should knows there's an article written about this.
Stephen, anything you want to tell us? Or no, we're fine. You see, no.
No, he put up with me.
So things are okay, but they're just fractured at the moment. They're not.
Yeah, a lot of things that is not. You can only handle problem as much, right? As one person.
Yeah.
Because my work, and then I'm trying to be a positive, and I just cut. By the way, I just cut the, just the bills, and when you pay, in the Philippines on whatever the countries, I have like 3-4 orphanage. They take out.
So like charity.
What was
things,
it called?
yeah.
Anyway, so
Like
the
a
last
direct
7
debit,
years.
like a direct debit.
Correct.
Yeah.
And then you call them because that calculated like 1,000, right? So I was like, money, why? Too many people, I got, people.
You just sometimes have to.
of
You
course,
got to help yourself.
Yeah,
First
and because
of
they
all.
call like, oh, this is her birthday. She needs this.
Oh,
Yeah,
This
there's
is.
a
always
bit
if you
cold,
if you get your foot in the door with
So I was like, I want to cancel, but you can't cancel. You have to go through,
They'll make it
writing it.
difficult,
So
yeah.
I just canceled the credit card.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
it. Basically
Cancel the
that's
whole
it.
thing.
I did
Yeah.
that with a thing. It was
Yeah.
like because it was at a point I was like, oh, I'm really struggling for money here, so I just cancelled the direct.
Yeah.
debit
I
and
knew a
called
guy.
them.
He was giving like 10 quid here, 10 quid there. He didn't have a lot of money,
Yeah,
and he
well,
said, "But you do one thing, but then they're phoning you up to say, look, there's this one-off thing, and he go, but there's 5 of you asking for one-off things,
Yeah,
and I can't
yeah.
give it that sort of money."
Birthday, this and
Yeah.
that. And I'm like, dude,
Yeah.
what about me?
Yeah, where's my fund? Is when people are always like, oh, I've got this, I'm running the marathon. Do you want to give me some money? I'm like, you're the 50th person to
Yeah.
ask me that today, and like, I don't wish to be.
I
callous
had
or
an
cruel.
argument with a homeless guy the other day.
Oh God! Of course you did.
But I was thinking I'm one of you, so don't like I was used, but he doesn't know that. But I come out the shop because there's a way to do it, right? You
It's a bit
should
hard
be
with
nice.
your bling rings.
Yeah.
On, mate. You can't-
No, you should be nice.
Yeah, that's
Because I
fine.
think when I was homeless, I was embarrassed. There's no way I'm sitting outside his shop saying, "Can you give me some money?" or being rude to people. Forget it. I was embarrassed. And he said, I come out the shop and he went, "Have you got any money?" I said, "No, mate." And he said, "Well, how'd you pay for your shopping then?" He go, "No, that's the
Credit card, yeah.
No, I said, I said, I said, "I haven't got any money." I said, "I've probably got
Yeah,
a little
you
bit
asked
more
me
money
for
than
spare
you have.
change,
You don't know
not-
anything."
yeah.
And he went, and then he shouted. He went, "I'm unwell." I thought it wasn't my fucking fault, is it? I said, Jesus Christ. And the worst thing is,
See,
I go
that's-
to this shop,
yeah.
so socially, I can't go back there now because I know it's going to kick off
You
again.
just have headphones in, mate.
But-
That's your answer.
There's ways of doing it.
Yeah, I agree.
You don't get aggressive with people because that means you're an arsehole. Whether you're homeless or not, you're just an arsehole.
Yeah.
But he went, I'm ill. I go, well, I'm not your mum. What do you want to do? If I,
I
had
agree.
a load of money, I would give you some.
Yeah, I was
It's
thinking
just-
like
it's
if
the
I
wrong
have the
thing
money to
say.
spare in my pocket right then and
Yeah.
there, of course you can have it.
Yeah, it's not what I'm saying. I'm
what's a couple of
loaded.
quid?
I've acknowledged you.
Yeah, yeah.
But no, the homeless thing, I don't carry cash, so I just basically buy food, or I cook twice a month and then walk around Vauxhall when I used to live in Vauxhall and give food.
That's better. Yeah, that's a better thing. Like a proper cooked meal and everything.
But I got kicked out at the Vauxhall station because apparently it's illegal to give homeless.
They thought he was encouraging people to.
So my nickname is Princess Angel. Can I have a spicy chicken? And I'm like, oh, this is with lemon.
Next week, can you have a little bit less?
Yeah, they're placing their. It sounds like they're placing their orders. And
but we moved to ones where now there's no homeless there. So
there is a. I know it's awful to say because I passed through Wandsworth, and there is. I think gang is the wrong term, but group, I guess, of about 4 people with literally the same sign written the same way.
Where?
It's like it's around the mall, Southside Mall.
Okay, Southside
and they're literally
Mall.
they're all positioned by each entrance, and they've literally got the same sign. And you see them. I've seen them like almost changing shifts, like coming and having a chat, and then one goes off and the other one sits down. But I'm like, you're feeding into the because many people are like, oh, the homeless people, they're earning so much money. No, they're not. Trade places if you think that, my friend.
Because you once heard a story.
But again, so maybe they're just living in some squat together and that's how they work, and they've just decided, let's just make this a job. But it does make me go,
I think it's the stigma to it as well. You know this as well, probably. Like, oh, they're just being by. My friend used to just, why are you making a bad habit for them to buy this? How do you know that? See, for me, like my principle, just okay, whatever that I gave it to you, I've given to you, like. Up to you, dude. Like whatever.
Whatever. I'm always just like, well, why wouldn't you buy a can of booze and just try and sleep the night away when it's horrid like that?
Hey, I took ecstasy sometimes, and hey, why not? So it's nice feeling
I always said when I was like doing drugs and things like that, just doing anything.
What drugs? No, I'm kidding.
Oh, it was everything. But my thing was like, you don't understand if every day is like. Then you do anything to take the pain away just for that. It's not like, hey, I'm cool and trying.
Because I'm also just like, well, what are they doing? Saving up with a mortgage with the 82p you gave them. They haven't got a bank account. Then we're going to turn up to the mortgage meeting, in clothes that they haven't been able to wash, and just go, oh yeah, can I apply for a mortgage, please? I've got, from yesterday, I got £5.40. It was a really good day.
Myself.
Can I put this into a savings account with a high yield bond? No, like. The good thing is I don't have a chain.
I put it in the ISA.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'll help to buy things.
It's just looking at the FTSE index to see what's happening.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, just like, oh yeah, we'll check it against that. Oh, it's a good time because the housing market. No,
I'm
of course
sorry, I want
not.
to eat.
Yes, I know. Like, oh no, you're just going to spend it on booze.
I saw a guy.
Yeah.
So I got 2. I was coming out of Morrison's, and
is there Morrison this?
Oh no, I live far away.
Morrison's, yeah.
And
I mean in London.
He walked in and I was paying, and I watch everyone, mate, because I'm from that world, so I know any moves, any eyeballs moving the wrong way, my senses go to it. And the guy walked in and he just looked around too much, so I noticed him like that as he walked around, blah, blah, and I paid for my stuff, and as I walked, he carried on walking. I was walking behind him, and as he walked out the door, he just grabbed a bottle of vodka or whatever, walked straight out, it went beep, 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 and it turned around, and I went, just go,
don't look round. You always do the thing of going, ooh, must that be, and then carry on. You seem to have such a varied career. You're always starting again.
Just remember.
Old.
I am though.
Didn't you say you were 29?
No, I'm not.
Oh, okay. I would have believed you. I'm 35. We worked out that you were. I can't remember.
Don't tell me. I'm not interested.
Okay.
You're 35. I am way older than you are.
35.
I'm close. Yeah, I'm 40. 40.
Oh, okay.
But when you said 29, I just
okay. You're 50. Just say that.
Fair enough. I mean, when you said 29,
I wasn't
thinking anything. I was kidding. I thought you caught me there.
So what?
Like,
you are 29?
No. Okay, I was 29. I said to you like 29, as in.
Oh, you thought we'd laugh?
No, I thought you were like, oh, you're right. Like
no,
that.
I just thought when you said 29 and all the dates linked up, you said,
older than you. That's mental.
No, I am. Yeah.
Thanks.
No, I thought you were younger. Actually, I didn't think you were over 30.
Yeah. So when did you
It is
get
what
into
it is.
property? Yeah, exactly. You didn't.
We haven't had a lot of stress in life, though. So
No,
probably,
I've been quite lucky actually. To be fair,
That's why you put a 24 karat mask.
Exactly. I sleep in one of those tanks, that keeps you young. or something
Oxygenated, yeah.
So you got into the thing
Because
you got.
you're worth it.
Yeah, exactly. So you came back to this country in 2016. Was that
2016, June 16.
Yeah.
June 19, 2016, 8:30 in the evening.
Yeah.
Thursday.
Yeah, I love the way you have it, like the time.
Yeah, he was
memorized.
like, even in court, I was like, precise.
Boom, yeah.
The judge like, oh, very precise with the glasses.
Yeah, but they like that. They
Do
like
you
that.
remember what was that? Oh bloody hell! What was the Colombo? Do you remember Colombo? What was something?
Just one more thing.
Yeah. He said when he'd always catch people out by pretending to be stupid and wearing all ruffled clothes and like that. So people, because he'd mostly high profile. He was always a lawyer that killed somebody or whatever. And there was one where the guy. He always goes up to them because they're always famous or a lawyer or something.
Yeah.
Go, oh, my wife loves you. Oh, I loved you. Blah, blah, blah. And he just, so they go, oh, this moron. I've got away with this. And he walks out the door and he goes to the guy, because obviously he asked him questions. He goes, I'm so sorry I've had to ask you these questions. Blah, I'm really apologise. But, my boss, I need to, can you just tell me where you were on the date? Yeah, so I was here. But he goes, oh, thank you. And he walks out and goes, you're great, you are. He goes, usually he goes, I wish I had a mind like yours. He said, he said, usually when I ask people where they were months ago, nobody can remember. And you knew exactly where you were. And the guy goes, oh, fuck.
Yeah. But your arrival was not an alibi. That was when you genuinely arrived. So did you get straight, what kind of happened? You got straight into property or how did that?
No, when I first moved here, I had a sports bar in Bali and that vanished as well. I lost how much was it? $70,000.
You had a sports bar in Bali.
Yeah,
Okay.
I was a silent partner basically. So I got screwed up with from supposed to be best friend. This thing I don't care to say out loud your name, Sinta. Because
and this was a friend you had back in Indonesia.
Yeah, when I was 18.
I think we're now using the term "friend" in inverted commas now very much. But
and then so basically she effing me over. Anyway, so I couldn't really sue her because I'm not Indonesian citizen. So the lawyer, my solicitor, he was like, you have like this chance to
and it might cost you so much more.
Yeah, and why
I
would suggest don't because
well, it's so far away. It's
basically
out of
it's painful. $70,000. I know it's a lot. You know what I mean. You work your butt off and you just like, oh my god. And I was suffering like sometime in the suicide and everything.
Well, it's the betrayal of a friend, isn't it?
It's
not like the guy that you gave the money to for the
I
flat.
just had experience with my boyfriend, past on top of that, and then I was like, oh my god, my life is over. And so I took a sleeping pills and stuff. Anyway, that's another story. Cry for help basically.
Yeah.
Boo-hoo. And finished that, and then that's it. And I live in, and then got into property straight away. And from that, I bought two. So I bought one first. I was on holiday here. I bought one, and then when I came back on the 2016, I bought another one.
Yeah.
So you're very entrepreneurial minded. It's just a natural thing for you, is it?
I think because the property things, I love properties.
Right.
I was working as a realtor in America, so. Under the table.
Is that an estate agent? That's an estate
Correct,
agent.
Yeah.
So over there, so you learn, it just, you get into it and stuff. So that's it. And then I bought that property because even though the economy like so bad, and then you're not gonna get, you're gonna lose the whatever it is, I can't even speak no more. The
value.
The value. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. After that. That was it.
So you still just sort of onwards and upwards.
Still I have Liverpool, Manchester, and then I sold my condo in Dallas.
Oh, okay. So you had that all this time still.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So what are you career-wise now? Is it just property with you?
Housewife. No, I'm kidding.
I mean, when we're saying just, we mean only because you've lived so many different lives.
To be honest, when every time like people ask me like, what are your job.
Aspiration.
Yeah.
And then I'd be like, well, I love to design. I design condos as well.
Interior design.
Interior design, yeah. But I didn't go to school. But I have the eye.
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't.
So yeah, that's it. And then I did say what, hon?
Oh right, yeah.
Oh yeah, I have the SE Entertainment. So the modeling and
So that promotional company, SE.
correct, yeah.
So you own your own agency?
Correct.
Okay,
Yeah,
wow.
but I, like model management, that's my agent, and then management fusion, and then now the Stardom, the new one that I just got signed.
So you still do modelling as well?
Yeah.
On your own?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Tomorrow I have a photo shoot at 5:00 at Barbican.
Barbican.
Oh,
Barbican.
Barbican,
Yeah.
darling.
You just have to take the finesse out of the language when you're speaking English. Just say the letters.
Yeah, we have no accent
No
or
finesse.
anything. Yeah. It's all just...
Barbican.
So what if you could
Barbican.
in sort of 10 years? What would you like to be doing? Like, what would be ideal for you? An interior design company, entertainment.
You know what? I want to do that. I think I love designing. I love just that, and just build up my portfolio, like the property as well. And my aim to have 4 or 5
Properties.
Yeah, and then I sit down and the modeling part, whoever like offer and stuff. I got offered to go to Paris, but they don't pay for this. I'm not.
Oh, really?
I'm not gonna spend. And my rent is already 3,100, so I'm not gonna spend.
I kind of feel like you're sort of also at that stage of you've kind of been there. There's no necessary urgency to be like, oh, I've got to go to Paris. This is my life. You've done. I'm sure you'd like to do it. But
I like to
if
do it.
Yeah.
I think also because I'm realize I'm older. So trust me. You just feel like, okay, yes, you've done a lot, but there is something, the goal that you want to do it, that you want to achieve that. It's just so itchy and.
So, is there anything you want to do that you haven't done outside of property or anything like that? Acting, something like that.
Acting, probably, yeah.
I've always found out with people that are good actors, it's people that have struggled a lot. You can bypass a lot of the teaching. In fact, I've met some people that have come out. I've met a couple of people that have just come out of acting school, and they were basically hollow.
Well, because they've not
no struggle.
Acting school, I always think that they don't prepare people for actors for real. They tell you like, ooh, how to. It's like
you're 16. You have to teach them what do my eyes do when I cry, because I've never had to struggle. I've never had to feel.
Well, it's not necessarily that, but it's just I often think that out of acting school, I think that they need to do, because some acting schools are like, no, you can't get acting work while you're here, because you go, no, you need to, because every director's different, every job's different.
But you need to experience life. You need to experience emotions.
You know what? I agree with that, because we went to acting school in Hammersmith, and I never done acting. I've done singing and all that bullshit. But excuse my language. Anyway, so 20 student, and you introduce it. Have you done acting? So I was like, no. And then Stephen's like, no. And then we had.
You went to the school as well?
Yeah, I dragged him. He didn't like it. I dragged him for emotional, like right now.
Yeah.
So we sat down, and then there's a task, a solo performance. I nailed it.
Oh.
Hey.
What was the thing? And then you have to be like, stakes very high. You have to, yeah.
Is this to get into the school? It's an audition to get in?
No, just the solo performance. Like, this is like a course.
Like a workshop type
kind
of thing.
And then in 2 minutes, for 2 minutes only, so I was boiling, crying.
Well, I mean, you've got a lot to
literally, like you said, live experience.
What an actress.
And I was basically...
Yeah.
And this teacher, she was like, Rose her name, Sarah, are you sure? You never done this acting? No. And she was like,
that's true. It's true, yeah.
And I'm like, of course.
Because I always look at it like when you've been through bad things, that's actually a weapon you've been given that you can use that other people can't, that people want.
The funny thing is though, like I gave advice to a lot of my friends that struggle, until this day, but my own.
They said there's a thing with psychology.
Behind closed door, you just like, huh. why? Everyone calling me. There's one guy like, thank you so much for you remember this the guy the husband basically have problem with the sex, whatever it is, and so I advise him, this is what you're gonna do with your wife, and then you did this, and then you were right. Of course I'm right. I have two minds in my mind. Hello, what man's needs? I know. So yeah.
Then you put the phone down and start crying about your own life.
What about me? Yeah.
There's a psychological trick with personal development. They say that you have to get in a habit of advising yourself as if what you would say to a friend, not what you'd say to you. And the classic one is they say is if you went to a doctor and you weren't happy with what they were saying, you tend to just go along with it. But if your friend come and said to you, I've doctor and I'm not happy, you'd say go and get a second opinion, but you won't do it for yourself.
No, exactly,
because there's a sort of weird barrier there. So you have to advise as if what would you say to your friend if they were going through the same thing, and do that, not how you feel.
True,
well, it's a little like turning up to the I don't know, you're going to do marathon training and you're going to ask a marathon trainer how to do it, and then you go, nah, I'm just going to eat baked beans and sausages instead of this whatever, and because I don't like
it's a stigma to it as well. The same thing when I said to Steve, right, you need to lose weight, and then he took it so personal because it comes from me. But if it's somebody else, he was fine, and then he'd be like, like when we first met, I was like, dude, you're fat.
So you said done nothing. He's giving you a lift here,
minding his own business in the corner, just popping in, helping us out occasionally with
giving
the research,
legal advice,
just going his things. It's like you.
But being a transgender woman now, surely that's a massive benefit in terms of
my
acting
boobies?
and modelling. No, I mean that's a thing people want. So that's got to be a big plus for you at this time.
You know what? I believe this afternoon when I opened my email, that when I got that Stardom, this agency, they're based in London, New York, and Los Angeles. Actually, I said to Steve, like, how, because there's name gender, right? Normally there's you have to tick, a female or male, but this nowadays like empty, right?
So you can write in whatever you would prefer.
Yeah. So even backstage,
really?
they have they have a male, female, and then on the side.
Other
transgender.
No.
Okay, they do have transgender. Okay,
but not the one that I sign up. They signed me on. I said, what do you think? Because he's good with the advice. So I was like, I don't really want to put the no, babe. Like this is you. It's time for you to shine. So I thought of effing.
Yeah,
so I just type it, and then I got
minority. You'd always want to put it down
yeah.
because they want to know there's more of them. So they have to.
But also with things with a lot of castings now, they're trying to make them more authentic in the sense that if the character is transgender, they would in the past they would have, even as recently as there was the film The Danish Girl, which had Eddie Redmayne in it
the film.
as I think one of the first people to undergo sexual, I don't know the term, but reassignment surgery. And there was a backlash against that, saying that, but he's not transgender. Although the counter argument was that it was showing him going from a man to a woman, so they thought the starting point. But now it's the same. Otherwise, it's why is that any different to being in blackface? If you're
John Wayne playing a red Indian.
Yeah, we were talking about this last week. About John Wayne being Genghis Khan.
The movie called Transamerica, played by Felicity Huffman.
Yeah.
She did. She looks like the Heart Wonder, transgender woman. But a lot of clash people. Why don't you? There's a lot of transgender actors out there. So like you. Like you said, hopefully, fingers crossed. That's my goal, perhaps.
Yeah, but also, hopefully, it crosses that boundary of then it's not that then the only drawback is do then people go, oh well, transgender women can only play transgender women. Hopefully, they can cross and play women. I've seen. You've probably seen.
I got offered characters as a female, even sometimes a mother. You know what I mean? But I never got the part because I'm not a mother material face. So yeah,
But it's always going to work that way with anything. They're always going to be
I
that
think
person.
you're right.
Yeah.
There, you know, my aim is to just because your sexuality that you know you're only specifically only that character. No, you know you play the female as well. As long as from my experience, like men just looking at the transgender, they think okay they are a sex object, but they're not. They're actually smart to people too. You know what I mean? They're human as well, and they have brains, and they want to be out there and accepted, and you know have a career and you know express
but because
themselves.
what I was saying is. Yeah,
Forget it. You know,
Plus, you're
I'll be
also.
worried about.
I'm not mocking other people, but you're not a sort of caricature of a transgender woman. You're just a transgender woman, so you're at the forefront of what people would be looking for. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
So what you've got now is that you've peaked at the time when things are needed in that type of thing. So that's something for you to use.
Well, I think that's again going back to where you've had non-transgender people playing transgender. You think. This just looks like something from the 50s of a carry-on film with a bloke, you know, just some big burly bloke with a wig and lipstick on. You go, that's not the reality of what transgender is.
See, people think like that back then. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But they didn't know. Tallulah, the first transgender post on a Playboy.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
she was in his James Bond.
Did they make a deal out of it? Or?
She's from UK, from London. But she was not accepted back then. Still illegal or something like that in this country.
I can imagine.
So she moved to America.
Yeah.
So I was watching the documentary. Oh my God, it's amazing.
I wonder why that would. The honest answer is I don't know. I don't wonder why that might be illegal. It might have been if it depended if the law
You
recognized.
can't change, you know, your name. Oh, not name, like
your gender.
Gender.
Okay, yeah. So that might have been the reason why if she's listed gender as a man, having relationships, even though she's a woman, having relationships with men, and in the 60s homosexuality was still illegal.
It comes under
I
that
can't
law.
imagine they would. You would hope they wouldn't have prosecuted, but you don't want to risk it.
You know
I
who
guess.
actually public find out? Newspaper. I'm not going to say the name, but newspaper. Digging, and then they just.
We found out that she was trans.
Yeah.
But what does it matter? I just don't
It
know.
tells a story. That's
Yeah,
all.
I guess so. But it's
story.
not. I'm sure. But the thing is,
60s,
on the one hand, it might have been okay if it was like, "Hey, isn't this fantastic that this lady Tallulah, you had no one, but no one knew, and isn't that brilliant? She was a Playboy model." I believe, and a Bond girl in that kind of slightly maybe that's not a nice thing to say. I don't know if we're allowed to say Bond girl anymore. Anyway, wouldn't it? But I'm sure they were like secret shame of the lady. You know what I mean? They're going to go for that angle.
Yeah,
unfortunately, they're going to go for the
I think nowadays as well, like Keanu Reeves with transgender.
Oh, really? Yeah.
You know,
is his partner transgender?
He's fiance.
Oh, okay. I didn't.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So
Because I thought they made a big deal about the fact that I think she was slightly older than him.
Yeah.
But it's the same as any anything like that. It's just
20 years different. Hey.
you're going to buff up.
You're 20 years older, are you,
Younger.
Stephen? I went with the right. I thought
You're
that was
always
right.
going to buff up against being different, and then eventually you get one actor, two actors, three, and then eventually it becomes the norm.
I think also like one person break it through, and then.
But it goes through the gay people. It's the same thing. Black people, same thing. We all just go, "Who's the new thing?"
Well,
that we
were
have to fear?
talking. We were talking earlier about. We said, that Margaret Thatcher. Because,
even a woman.
Woman prime minister. But then when Theresa May became a prime minister, it was kind of incidental. It was just like, and she's also
like
the second
another one.
woman.
Okay.
Yeah, because we were talking how because we were even talking about like, what are we gonna title this podcast? Do we say transgender Sarah Wenno? Do we say whatever? And because we had a previous podcast, we had a comedian on, Ria Lena, and we were saying, do we say female comedian? Really, or do we just say comedian?
But my thing around that is that if you don't say it, then the idea is to get it out there as much as possible. It's not you're not using it; it's you saying, "Look, I'm this, and I do this behind."
Yeah, it's just for sensationalism.
If you just went and there's the name, you go, no. Because the idea is to make it so normal that you then forget about it. People
that was
are
the only
stupid.
thing I thought was
think
odd
it's
about the
attraction
title.
as well. Like, you know, people like, okay, like back to the my docu series. Like, it was there's no transgender word in it, and then I wasn't agreeing.
Yeah.
But then I thought, okay, it makes sense now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And plus that. Who cares? You know what I'm saying?
The only thing I
But
thought was
the
odd
idea-
about that, sorry.
The idea is, though, I would think that, okay, so you're going to put a transgender doing anything.
Yeah.
You go, but younger people need to see that. It's not about
Yeah, I
you
guess
and your
it's saying
ego.
it's-
They're
yeah,
not
this is
using
not-
you,
yeah.
but you
Like
need to
sort
help.
of like educating people. You know what I mean? It's okay to be you.
Yeah, I mean, you're
basically.
saying about like Keanu Reeves dating a transgender. If you just said, no, we're not going to mention none of it.
Oh, by the way, I want to correct the term there.
Oh.
No. A transgender. A lot of people like they say like the other words. You know what I mean? When I first met him as well, like I always like, dude, that's not the right one.
So which one was the
transgender?
Transgender is not
Yeah.
the correct.
Yeah, no, that's the correct
That's
one.
the correct.
Yeah, the term. The other one, it's more like derogatory. Yeah.
Which word? Sorry.
Sexual.
I'm not going to say the name.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yes, but what I'm saying is, you could
Sorry.
almost go.
No, that's fine. We just it was
if
more
you're
so
the
we
wrong-
don't say it again.
If you were
by
the
mistake.
wrong-minded,
Yeah.
and you said, well, let's not mention that Keanu's girlfriend is transgender, you go, no. You need to hear
Right.
that. You need to
Right.
hear a few people doing it.
I genuinely
That
didn't know
makes
that because I think they'd sort of stepped out using an old-fashioned term as a couple. Because for a long time, Keanu Reeves, it was like, oh, why can't he find it? Unfortunately, he lost his partner in she died. But yeah, there was a horrid thing where they did years ago, this was like 10 years ago, that he lost, I think it was longer ago that he lost his partner, but there was just all these pictures of him looking kind of a bit dour and a bit down, and it's like, oh, why can't he just smile? He gets all these money, and it's like, maybe because his partner had a miscarriage and then she died of a drug overdose. That's probably, he's probably not doing cartwheels, possibly, but he's been sort of seen to, or assumed to be single for a long time, so then he stepped out with this lady, and the first thing they could do is not, oh, isn't it nice that he's got a girlfriend after, he's found love again or whatever. It's just like, oh, isn't she older? For Christ's sake, you're just not happy with anything.
Nothing to, it's hard to please everybody.
Yeah.
I have another theory that I've been watching society. Because I told you, I just stepped back and I've watched all these things since I was a kid, really.
Yeah.
And I think when they started to trying to have powerful women, but there's no positive.
I see what you mean, yeah.
Men now are actually, because of the way men are set up, they still want femininity, which there isn't. So that's why it sort of coincided with the trans section of the world, because they're the most feminine by far.
I guess so.
And
I
it
suppose
came
it's
along at
also-
the same time, mate. It came along at the same time. As soon as you had masculine women, which weren't women personified, they were masculine. They were men.
Yeah, I
It
think unfortunately
didn't-
the strong women became, it just meant you had to
No,
be
you
like
watch
a,
any
like
movie with a woman.
Ripley
Oh, look, we
and,
headbutt men as well. Oh,
yeah.
well done for like.
Yeah, we were saying like, don't be like a man. That's what.
there was.
We're dreadful. Don't be like a man.
Don't go
'cause
to
we're
the
bad.
lowest point of us.
Yeah, exactly.
There was a woman called Dame Edna. I think she was an actress. Died in 1960, and she said, when women want to be like men, why do they want to be like the worst men? Do you know what I mean? It's not like be the best of women. Don't go to the lowest point of men. Like with a cage fighting, we said this before. We go, well, it's the women that are now doing cage fighting, freedom. And you go, well, you've sunken to the lowest level of men to be like free. That's not really free to me.
Let me ask you this: would you agree with in sports, right? Obviously, the sport. Would you agree if transgender women
to do with depending on what stage a lady is in her transition, but also just naturally that some women have higher levels, some trans women will retain high levels of testosterone, which makes them but someone raised the counterpoint to that, because they said, she is not a trans woman, she is a woman, but for a long time, I get her name, Semenya, I believe it is, and she just has naturally a high level of testosterone.
Yes.
There's nothing, they try to frankly, it was disgusting. They just tried to make all these spurious lies about her, that she was secretly a man or anything like that. All these kind of things, all just bollocks. She just had... And,
same as the Venus Williams and...
Yeah, and it's just like, or they're just very athletic women, and, not all women are the same, wearing petticoats.
Not all men have got the same.
No, exactly. Yeah.
So
I can't, So, so they're saying, but interestingly...
I'm 50-50 on that.
Yeah, I kind of it depends. I sort of I
But
can't.
I
remember.
suppose if you
But
got a
Phelps
men's,
has
if you-
sorry, just to finish with that Phelps. So when Semenya has this high level of testosterone, just something she's naturally gifted, not something she worked with, just that makes her a better performer. But Phelps has a slightly, Michael Phelps, the swimmer who's won all these gold medals, the most decorated Olympian in all of in the Model Olympics. But he has something with his metabolism that essentially is why he's enormously good, why he's so he has like enormous.
Where is it?
He's got a natural within his body, not just that he's got a natural swimmer's physique, but also his there's something to do with how his metabolism works. And we go, isn't that amazing? Isn't that brilliant that he can do this because of his like it's a superpower. But with Semenya, and it's because I think I am saying her name right. I'm sure it's Semenya. Oh, she's a freak. That was and there must be something. She must be hiding something. She must be hermaphrodite or something.
Yes.
She must have been, or she's secretly a man and she's whatever. She's disguising it. And you go, well.
So
but I think it's because it's a woman.
What side do you come down on in terms of sport? What do you think? There should be a third category?
My opinion, no. 2 categories, but I think in sport, I think no.
There is a problem with the...
Yes, you think the trans...
I think if it's a trans, I think... Oh my God, it's hard because for me, like, if it's a what do you call that? The pageant, beauty pageant. Then, yes, transgender women.
Beating everybody up. So there was a guy recently who was a power lifter, and he was rubbish, and then he became trans, and then he just broke all the records as a woman. So
and then he beat up a man, not.
This is 2 different types. So there's the powerlifter story. He wasn't winning anything.
Right.
He became a trans woman.
Yeah.
But then just smashed all the records like
as a woman.
As a
I see
woman. But he didn't win. But there's a cage fighter as a woman. The UFC, the top level.
But a lot of winning, fighting when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Well, I think, and I'm pretty good at pattern recognition with life, I get the feeling that your life is starting now, 2020. I think everything's ready.
Bless you.
You've learned everything to this point.
You know what?
And they always say, I was reading a book about this, that people that struggle for the first half of their life before settling into doing anything are always very successful in the second half. It's the people that have fucking gone up this, tried to do this, and has gone up ladders that they don't when they're young. That's the problem. I keep saying, don't do anything till you're 30. Don't do anything. Get married. The first half of your life, you're not miserable for the second half because now you can see what you want to do. You've got more clarification about what you want. I always think as long as you can pay the rent that month and you're not stuck with like 10 kids or anything like that, then you're basically in the best point in life you want to be at. Because you're free. You might not have everything, but you're free to do whatever you want. Where some people are stuck up ladders they can't get down, or they've got 10 kids that they can't do anything about.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think you're at your best point. Oh, you get emotional about it. Sorry. We've got oh, sorry.
You're okay? Sorry.
Use one of the paintings on the wall there, though. Not the magazine.
Yeah, not the magazine.
No.
So yeah, I think everything's. As I said, I'm pretty good at. I keep bordering on the line of being psychic, but it's just pattern recognition that you go, okay, this person feels like they're ready to go here. I was even thinking about things that we were doing as you were talking. I thought, oh, you're still you're a good spokesperson for that thing, whatever you classify yourself as, that you could use that to do stuff. Because as I said, it's your weapon. It's not a bad thing. What you've got is perfect for nowadays.
But also because you've come through a lot of...
Yeah, that's just an added bonus on top.
No, do you know what? Even sometimes, this is me, right? Like sometimes... God, my voice is so deep now.
Gone husky.
Sometimes just being accepting, even though I've been everywhere, I've been around, and to be accepted, it's a rewarding, and I want to thank you for that.
Yeah, but
I'm not
as I said,
lie,
life has just crossed at a point now that you, as I said, 10 years ago would have been an issue. And you're not a 16-year-old kid who doesn't know what he wants. You're the sort of perfect thing at the time when this is what people are looking for. And the way you carry yourself is perfect for that. Then with your backstory, it's perfect. You've got a massive thing to sell that other people haven't got at the perfect time for it. Then everything else is just marketing.
Except the time that New Day, Amazon, credit card company, block all my because of hear me out, right? Because of my voice, they don't believe this is me on after even I gave every single security reason.
Oh, on the phone to them, you were calling up to do a thing.
Amazon.
They didn't believe you.
Mm-hmm.
But your voice it sounds feminine. Why would that be?
According to this Indian dude, I'm not calling because of the Indian, but
it was Indian. A call center in India.
And he was like,
right.
So he said, what's your title? So I said, it's Miss. I don't believe that you're genuine.
Who are you?
And I was like, excuse me, when did you do that?
Yeah.
And I said, I believe that I called you. Oh, you believe? And I'm like,
you should have been dialing your lawyer at the same time as you were.
That is
record. This is that's another stress. Basically they block all my credit cards. This is on the phone offering to pay off. Who does that? If I'm a fraudulent,
what's the downside of taking my money?
I wanna pay off my credit. You know what I mean? So I end up paying, and at the end because he was like, I have to be on the phone, and then so right now in the middle of Watchdog, so we report it to Watchdog, and then report it to a financial ombudsman. Got involved, so there you go. But here we go again.
But just
so are you suing them?
Yeah.
Oh, just have a nice
what an odd.
Exactly.
Thank you,
Amazon. Gucci watch.
I was. He was like, "How much?" I'm like, "I want 15 grand at least."
Yeah.
For
stress,
I'm
mental
not kidding.
stress.
I was this low, so bad.
But just to challenge you like that,
that's
just
mental.
That's
discrimination. And this is true story. Every time I go anywhere, I was so scared because I thought, oh my, somebody's gonna find out I'm.
Really did affect
used
you.
to be big time. Big time.
And is that still something now?
Oh, yeah.
Still something now?
This is actually recent. What is it? Like 3-4 weeks ago. I was like...
But your voice doesn't...
I know.
But just in
Maybe
general,
on the phone
so people... So you were discriminated against?
Yeah,
don't want
basically,
to
yeah.
Horrid.
It's
3-4 weeks ago. No. Well, you mean in the out and about?
No. This is just on the phone.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
This is another time.
NHS, right? We went to... I thought I looked great, but this woman waited for me. NHS, my GP. So we came out from.
So she was
GP.
waiting for you outside the GP.
She was at the GP. So she came out, but she was waiting. Like in the corner in the stairs, like as we walked down to the car park, she was like up and down, and then she was like, "Are you a man?" I'm not kidding. So this is me. It just came out straight. Are you like loud? Yeah. And so I went, "Are you?"
Yeah.
I mean,
but I was like so calm about it.
You should have smacked her in the mouth.
No, I just went like, "Are you?" And then she was like, "I'm not." And well, you look like one.
Well, neither are you. I just like.
I just went like that. What kind of you look like a man, honey.
What the kind of fucking question is that?
You're a woman, but there's only one lady.
Exactly. Yeah. It's just.
No, love. This is a middle-aged woman.
And to vocalize it as well.
Yeah, that's just to try and to be
going on in your how miserable.
That's a vile person.
But at that time, if you ask me, like, did it affect you? A wee bit, but no, like a day, please. You know what I mean? But the one that affect me a lot, that the credit card thingy, Amazon.
Yeah, that's a real.
Because constantly, this is not just once. Every single time that I call them, and then they, basically discriminate.
Well, clearly they need better training and just not be idiots.
No, I think just met a couple of fucking morons. Or it's the place they come from. But also, anyone that vocalises negativity, it's because of misery. You don't do that out of confidence, or you do that out of misery in your own life. That's why you project negativity.
But I imagine the credit card thing as well is not just because you're being challenged by someone who can't see you, but also because and you can't see them, so you can't you can't think, because obviously tone is all. But it's also just that, obviously, I know money isn't everything, but you're trying to sort out your credit card. And so someone blocking all that stuff is taking your power in a way, because it's like, okay, I can't do anything now because I can't get on the tube because my card is blocked.
Yeah. And then this is when you actually offer them money.
Yeah, that's the weirdest thing.
Who does
bollocks
that?
to them, get a load of money out of them. And if they don't, tell them you're going to write an article about it.
Yeah, exactly.
Good journalists.
Well, we got it on the now. This all
sort it out.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what my plan anyway.
Well, it's been enlightening
amazing
talking to you. Thank you for coming down, especially at short notice. But I do think this is your time now. I think you've served your service, and everything was for a reason.
You are amazing.
That if you didn't have, it wouldn't be going good the way it will be now. So I think everything has been a positive for this time now. Now it's your time to start. And even though you've got a million things, you said everything isn't perfect, but you're free at least. You might not have everything, but you're free. You're not burdened with anything. That's the way. So, thank you for coming on. We're probably going to have you come back on again.
Yeah, I think so.
Out.
It's been, pleasantly, surprisingly, because I was nervous. I'm not kidding. Like, I was nervous. I'm like, oh, what do?
Yeah, no, it's not an interview show. I would just say to people, we just conversation.
You got from the beginning, like from your texts and emails and whatnot, and I felt, you know what? I checked you guys last night on the thing, 3 a.m. So yeah, I was like, you guys amazing, makes my day.
Good. Well, thank you very much. I really appreciate that. So, any last thoughts?
No,
29.
29.
And more enlightened now?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I always think, just come on and have honest chats about anything, and that's what this should be about. That's what life is about.
And you've done everything you needed to. But as I said, I'm actually there's positive stuff for you now.
All the heavy stuff that has come out. It's like,
but that's all your weapon. That's your gifts to use for the future. Now it's not bad thing. That's what you've been given to move forward with. So we'll see you next year anyway. We'll have you back on.
We'll have a little catch up, I think, definitely.
He hasn't got too famous.
Yeah, exactly. If you remember,
you have to go through the agent to speak to her. But all right, thank you very much.
I'll be on the feature film one day.
Yeah, definitely.
I'll mention you guys.
Yeah,
they all say that.
They all say that.
No,
exactly.
Stephen, I always kept my words.
Right, that's legally binding. Right. All right, well, thank you very much.
Yeah, we've got it now. Thank you very much, Sarah, and we'll say goodbye.
Bye, guys. Bye-bye.